Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the Chosen One back at it today, and I'm getting ready to go into further detail about how to read people's natal charts properly. I'm gonna show you guys how to find out what kind of man a woman is attracted to, and what kind of female that a man is attracted to just by looking at their natal charts. Okay. Now, one thing you know what I'm saying, I want to let be known is that when you look at a man's natal chart, wherever Venus and the moon are located is the kind of woman he's going to be attracted to. Okay, let me explain. If we have Venus in his first house or moon in his first house, okay, that means he's naturally going to be drawn to women who share first house characteristics, which are Aries characteristics. I want everybody to understand no matter what sign somebody has in these houses, okay, it's always going to be ruled by these signs right here. For instance, the first house is always going to be ruled by Aries, no matter what sign is in first house. Second house is always going to be ruled by Taurus, no matter what sign is in the second house. No matter if you have Sagittarius in the second house, or Pisces in the second house, or Capricorn in the second house is always going to be naturally ruled by Taurus. First house is always going to be naturally ruled by Aries. Third house, always naturally ruled by Gemini. Fourth house, always naturally ruled by Cancer. Fifth house, always naturally ruled by Leo. Virgo, always, sixth house, always naturally ruled by Virgo. So on and so forth. Okay. There's also the 13th zodiac, which is the ninth sign, which would be which would take up half of this Scorpio right here, and like a quarter of this Sagittarius right here. That would be your 9. Scorpio would be your 8. Sagittarius would be your 10. Capricorn would be your 11. Aquarius would be your 12. And then Pisces would be your 13. So if you want to add the 13th sign, it would be your ninth sign, which would be in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. It would make Sagittarius 10. It would make Capricorn 11, Aquarius 12, and Pisces 13. Okay, that's how it's really supposed to be done. Each one of these houses rules a different body part and a different chakra point to your body. First house is ruled by the face and the brain. This rules your face and your brain. Okay? Any planets in this house are going to have an impact on your face and your brain. Okay, the first house, because it's ruled by Aries and your Aries characteristics. Second house is ruled by Taurus, and it rules your throat, your neck, and your throat chakra. Third house is ruled by Gemini, and it rules your lungs and your arms. Your lungs and your arms. Fourth house is ruled by Cancer. It rules your bodily fluids, your chests or your breasts if you're a woman, and it rules your stomach if you're a man. If you're a woman, it rules your ovaries and your female reproductive organs, ruled by the fourth house. Fifth house rules your spine, your heart chakra, and what else? The fifth house basically, rules your Leo characteristics. You know what I'm saying? How much of an ego somebody has. Okay, that is looked at in the fifth house. Okay, sixth house rules your intestines. Rules your intestines and the beginning of your solar plex chakras. The beginning of your solar plex chakras, and it also rules your intestines. Okay, it also rules somebody's analytical ability. It's seen in the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of work and service. Somebody's daily 9 to 5 job. If you want to find out what somebody's daily 9 to 5 job, what energy that holds, you look at what planets they hold in the 6th house. Okay? 7th house rules somebody's kidneys. The kidneys in the lower back area of their body is seen in the 7th house. 7th house also rules love and serious relationships. So if you want to know what kind of person somebody's going to be committed to in a relationship, okay, and what kind of people they're going to be drawn to in serious relationships, you want to look at the planets in their 7th house. 8th house is just sex for sex sake, okay? The 8th house just rules sexual partners in general. It just rules sex for sex sake and sexual partners in general. That's seen in the 8th house of Scorpio. So really, we can look at the 5th house and the 8th house for sex sake. If you want to look at committed, serious relationships, okay, and committed marital partners, that is seen in the 7th house. Okay, totally different from the 8th and the 5th house. The 5th house rules partying, gambling, fun activities, sex for sex sake, sports, any kind of fun activities, gambling. Okay, that's all seen in the 5th house. 8th house is more of sex as a control mechanism. That's in the 8th house because it's ruled by Scorpio, and it also rules the occult activities, hidden things, life-changing, life-transforming events, life-changing events is all seen in the 8th house. Near-death events are also seen in the 8th house, okay, because it's naturally ruled by Scorpio, okay? 7th house is naturally ruled by Libra. So the committed marital partners you're going to be seeing in the 7th house with the planets that are in this 7th house. Okay, so the planets in the 8th house are basically going to tell you, has this person had any traumatic, life-changing events? How this person approaches sexual activity, all in the 8th house. This also rules, the image of the genitalia, what the planets in the 8th house. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can find out, what somebody's genitals are going to look like by the planets that are in this 8th house. Okay, that's another big secret. Like I said, if you put Ophiuchus in this, it'll be half of the 8th and half of the 9th. Ophiuchus would rule your adrenal glands. I'm gonna repeat. The serpent bearer Ophiuchus is in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. If you include that, you would just put half of this chart for Scorpio and half of it for Sagittarius, and you would have Ophiuchus, which would be the 9th sign, and that would rule your adrenal glands. Okay, that's another psychic. That's basically another psychic house, a water house, another water sign of Ophiuchus, and it rules your adrenal glands. Now, we would basically make the 9th sign, which is Sagittarius, we would turn that into the 10th sign when we're using 13 astrology. And Sagittarius, this would basically rule somebody's feelings towards traveling. Their feelings towards traveling, meeting new people on foreign lands, meeting people of different cultures, and how they view basic ancient philosophical knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Ancient wisdom. That's how, they would view it. We would see the planets in their house, in their 10th house of Sagittarius, okay? And that would be how they view learning foreign cultures, foreign lands, what kind of respect they have for people of different cultures, basically. We all know the 10th house will change to the 11th house because EL rules Capricorn, Saturn. The house of 11 is the house of public recognition, money made in your career. If you want to find out what kind of money somebody has in their career, okay, and what kind of money they can make after their career, you're going to look at the house of Capricorn. Okay? And no matter what sign they have in this house right here, it's always going to be ruled by Capricorn. Okay? Each house has a natural ruler. So like I said, the Sagittarius house rules a person's hips and thighs. The size of their hips and thighs is going to be seen, you know what I'm saying, in their house of Sagittarius, in their ninth house, which would really be the 10th house if you're using 13 astrology. This house of Aquarius right here, which would be house 12, this would be seen as somebody's circulatory system, the blood in their body, the blood circulation in their body, and their shins and the bottom of their legs, their shins would be seen in this house right here, okay, of Aquarius. You see somebody's bone structure in their house of Capricorn and their 10th house of Capricorn. That is going to show you what kind of bone structure they have, whether they're going to be tall, whether they're going to be short, what kind of facial bone structure they're going to have. It's all seen in the 10th house, which would really be the 11th house in 13 astrology. Okay. But the number that's going to be on here is 10. Okay. So that house is going to be a house where we could see what kind of bone structure a person is going to have. Also, where Saturn is located in their chart, wherever Saturn is located, will also be impacting their bone structure of their face and their whole body. Okay, this house right here, which they call house 12, is really house 13 when you use 13 astrology. And this is the house of Pisces, which is Neptune, which is our connection to the higher dimensions, our connection to the fourth and fifth dimensions, our dreaming capabilities, our intuition, our level of intuition, our level of spiritual guidance. Okay, that's all seen in our house of Pisces, because, you know, this is the house of our Pisces traits. Everybody has all the zodiac signs in them. Okay, everybody has all the zodiac signs in them. So this chart is just showing how we use these zodiac sign characteristics. Okay, the first house is how our demeanor is. If we're aggressive, if we're passive, if we're somewhat indecisive, if we're quiet into ourselves, that's all going to be seen in the first house, because the first house rules our brain and our overall demeanor and what kind of energy we're going to hold when we first meet new people. So the first house is really the mask. The first house is really the mask we wear for the public. Okay? It's because our real zodiac sign is the date we were born in the month. And that basically is who we are on the inside. But who we are on the outside is this first house right here, which is the ascendant, and is naturally ruled by Aries. It's naturally ruled by Aries because it's showing, you know what I'm saying, who we are on the outside to the public. Okay? That's all seen in our house of Aries, our first house, which is our ascendant. So that's basically the mask we give to the world. Okay? Right here is the second house, which is naturally ruled by Taurus. If you want to know what kind of material resources somebody is going to be given in this life, you're going to look at what's called the earth houses. Let me repeat. You're going to look at what's called the earth houses, which is the second house, the sixth house, and the 10th house. Let me repeat. Second house, sixth house, 10th house. So if you want to know why people are destined to be millionaires, to be multi-billionaires, that is seen by the planets in their second house, their sixth house, and their 10th house. Bill Gates has Jupiter in his second house. Floyd Mayweather has Jupiter in his second house. Muhammad Ali has Jupiter in his 10th house. Chris Brown has Jupiter in his 10th house. Oprah Winfrey has Jupiter in her 6th house. Okay? So like I said, the second, the 6th, and the 10th houses are where we see a person's money making ability. Okay, we're talking on the millions, billions scale. Okay, we're talking like mega wealth. You would want to locate Jupiter, Pluto, or the sun in their second house, in their sixth house, or their 10th house. Okay, because those are the earth houses that rule material possessions and money. Physical attributes we can touch are ruled by the earth houses. Now the fire houses is basically how expressive and how much of a free spirit someone would be, and how verbally expressive they are, and how aggressive they are. You would see that in their firehouses. You would see that in their firehouses of the first house, of the fifth house, and of this Sagittarius house right here, of this ninth Sagittarius house right here. 1, 5, and 9 would be somebody's would be somebody's physical expression, and how aggressive they are, how dominant they are, and how verbally expressive they are. Okay, would all be seen in their firehouses. Okay, so if somebody has Jupiter in the first house, Jupiter in the fifth house, or Jupiter in the ninth house, okay, or Sun in these houses 1, 5, and 9, you would see them as very, very dominant, very, very outgoing. They would get bored very, very easily, and they would be naturally drawn to action and adventure. Naturally drawn to action and adventure. Okay. If you want to see how verbally communicative somebody is, you would look at their air houses. Your air houses would be this house of Gemini right here. House 3, house 3, house 7, house 11. House 3, house 7, house 11. House 3, house 7, and house 11 all rule how verbally communicative we are, how verbally expressive we are, how good of communicators we are, okay? And how much of an intellectual we are is really shown in houses 3, 7, and 11. Also rules our level of scientific knowledge. It also rules our level of scientific intelligence. What we see in house 3, house 7, and house 11. House 11, like I said, is the house of Aquarius. So that rules our scientific knowledge, our scientific wisdom, our philanthropic activities, our attitude towards humanitarianism, our rebellious nature, okay? Our friend networks, basically the energy that surrounds our friend circle is all seen in our 11th house. What kind of friends we're going to attract in this life, okay? How we are going to view acts of humanitarianism, acts of philanthropy, all in this 11th house. Basically, our Aquarian characteristics. How really much of a rebel, how much of a humanitarian, how much of a revolutionary you are is basically seen in your 11th house of Aquarius, because that's what Aquarius rules. So the planets in here are going to affect your Aquarius characteristics. Your 13th house, or you know what I'm saying, if you're doing 12 astrology, your 12th house, that would be your house of Pisces. How good we dream, how vivid we dream, how accurate we can predict future events through our dreams, through our intuition. It's our connection to the fourth and the fifth dimension, okay? And it also rules karmic activities, all seen in the 13th house. Basically, spiritual guru, how much of a spiritual guru we are is what planet we have in our 13th house, which is the 12th house when they use 12th astrology, okay? So when you look at somebody who has Jupiter in the 5th house, you're looking at a superior athlete. You're looking at a superior athlete. You're looking at a superior athlete if you see somebody with Sun, Mars, and Jupiter in the 5th house, because the fifth house is a fire house, and the fire planets are Jupiter, Mars, okay, Jupiter, Mars, and Sun. So if those planets would be in the fifth house, that energy would be intensified and you would have a superior athlete. Okay, if you have Jupiter, Mars, or Sun in the fifth house, in this fifth house right here. Okay. Wherever Jupiter is an area of life that we will never fail in. Wherever Jupiter is a house that we will never fail in. Okay. So if you want to look at what kind of person somebody is going to be attracted to, let's say a woman has Mars in the first house. She is naturally going to be drawn to Aries men, or men who are born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month, period. Or if she had Sun over here in the seventh house, if she would have Sun in the seventh house, she would naturally be drawn to Libra men, or men born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th of the month. Okay? If she had Sun in this house of Capricorn right here, this house 10 of Capricorn, she would be naturally drawn to Capricorn men, or men born on the 8th, 17th, or 26th of the month. If she had the Sun in the 11th house of Aquarius, she would naturally be drawn to Aquarian men, or men born on the 4th, 13th, or 22nd of the month. Okay. If she had the Sun in the 12th house, which is Pisces, she would be naturally drawn to Pisces men, or men born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th of the month. Okay? It's not really hard, you know what I'm saying, to understand and grasp when you do your research and you start studying it. So basically, yeah, if she has Mars or Sun in that house, she's going to be naturally drawn to men who carry that house energy. And you know what I'm saying? She is going to be basically drawn to men with those characteristics. Okay? Wherever Mars or Sun is placed in that house in her chart. Okay? If she has Mars or Sun in her fifth house, she's going to be very athletic. She's going to be very athletic, and she's going to be naturally drawn to men with Leo characteristics, or who are born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th of the month. If she has Sun or Mars in this fifth house, if she has Sun or Mars in the sixth house, she's going to be naturally attracted to Virgo men, or men who are born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of the month. If she has Sun or Mars in the sixth house, okay? If she has Sun or Mars in the fourth house, she's going to be naturally attracted to Cancer men, or men who are born on the 2nd, 11th, 20th, or 29th of the month. If she has Mars or Sun in her fourth house, okay? That's going to be the kind of men she's attracted to, men with Cancer characteristics. Third house right here, if she has Mars and Sun or Sun in the third house, she's going to be naturally attracted to Virgo men. I mean, no. My apologies. Gemini men. She's going to be naturally attracted to Gemini men, or men born on the 5th, 14th, 23rd of the month. If she has Sun or Mars in this second house, she's going to be naturally attracted to Taurus men, or men born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th of the month. Okay? That is basically how you figure out how somebody is who somebody is naturally attracted to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a man or a woman can marry whoever the hell they want to marry. You know what I'm saying? And they can marry him for the money. They can go out and try to con people and swindle people and use people for the money, and that could be why they married him. You see what I'm saying? So technically, when you look at Mars and Sun in a woman's chart, you know what I'm saying? She could be married to anybody. She can be married to a man of any zodiac sign. What Mars and the Sun are showing is the level of attraction that she has for those men. You see what I'm saying? The men that she's going to be naturally attracted to. And this is why there's so much infidelity and so much unfaithfulness in serious relationships, because people aren't going to men or women who they are naturally attracted to by the stars. They're going after a person's image. They're going after a person's net worth. They're going after a person's material resources and what's in their bank account. And they're not going after their heart. They're not going after what's in the stars and what's written in the stars for them. And this is why relationships are failing. This is why human relationships are failing on the planet, because we're not going off of the stars like our ancestors did, okay? This is very, very serious information that I am giving to you guys today. Okay? Yeah. So like I said, wherever you see the Mars planet or the sun in a person's chart is especially in a female's chart, is going to be the man that she's attracted to and the energy he's going to hold. In a man's chart, you're going to look at wherever Venus and moon are in the chart. Wherever Venus and the moon are in the chart is going to be the kind of woman that's going to attract that man. Okay? So basically, like for instance, I have moon and Venus in my 11th house, which means that I am naturally attracted to women who hold Aquarian characteristics, okay? Or who were born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, or 31st of the month, okay? If you want to look at who somebody lost their virginity to, the 5th house is the house that rules our life from 13 to 19. The 5th house rules our house from 13 to 19, when we were 13 to 19, okay? That's when I lost my virginity. I have Saturn in my 5th house, which means that I lost my virginity to a Capricorn woman ruled by Saturn, Capricorn woman. And I have Venus and moon in my 11th house of Aquarius, okay? Which means that I'm naturally attracted to women born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, or 31st in the month. The woman I lost my virginity to was born on December 31st, Capricorn. So she had Aquarius characteristics, but she was still a Capricorn, okay? That was all seen in my 5th and 11th house, okay? Like I said, I can break this down like no other, okay? Each house rules a different chakra point, rules a different area of our body, and rules a different area of our life, a different characteristic of our life. If you want to see how stubborn somebody is, you look at the fixed houses. You look at the fixed houses, which are the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th houses. The 2nd, 5th, 8th, and the 11th houses. Those are the fixed houses. The houses of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are your fixed houses. So however many planets somebody has in those houses is going to determine how stubborn and fixed somebody is set in their ways, how stubborn somebody is going to be. You are going to see in those houses, okay? A lot of serial killers, you know what I'm saying, will have weird conjunctions in their 1st house or their fixed houses, okay? Because that's going to rule how stubborn somebody is and how somebody is going to view changing who they are. See what I'm saying? If you want to see how sensitive somebody is, you're going to look at their water houses. You're going to look at their water houses. The 4th house, the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. Let me repeat. 4th house, the 8th, and the 9th house, because that's Ophiuchus. Okay, 4th house, 8th and 9th house, and the 12th house of Pisces. Those planets that are seen in somebody's chart the planets in their fourth house, the planets in their eighth and ninth house, and in their 12th house, okay, are going to show how psychic somebody is and how intuitive somebody is and how connected to the ancestors and the higher realm somebody is. You're going to see in their 12th house, you're going to see in their ninth and eighth house, and you're going to see in their fourth house of Cancer, okay? Of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Ophiuchus. That is going to show you how psychic somebody is, okay? Let's see here. Another interesting thing that I would like to say, you know what I'm saying, is Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson both have Saturn in the fifth house, and I do as well. And I'm going to explain that a little bit later. So when you look at, if you want to see how talkative somebody is, you're going to look at their air houses. You're going to look at their air houses of Gemini, of Libra, and of Aquarius. Of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The houses 3, 7, 11. The houses 3, 7, 11. That is how you find out how verbally communicative somebody is, how talkative somebody is, how self-expressive somebody is, because that's the houses of air. Those are the houses of air. 3, 7, 11. That's how you find out how talkative and how communicative somebody is. If somebody doesn't have a lot of planets in these houses, okay, they're going to be naturally quiet. They're going to be a very, very quiet person, okay? And we can all see this through somebody's natal chart, people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson have Saturn in the fifth house. Saturn in the fifth house basically restricts somebody's heart chakra. Okay, their Leo characteristics of being a fun-loving person that loves sports, that loves fun activities, that loves partying and gambling and having a good time. A lot of times, Saturn in fifth house people are business first and view fun activities as an illusion and are very mature for their age. And, you know what I'm saying? They view the heart chakra energy of fun activities as an illusion. So a lot of times people with Saturn in the fifth house are looked at as party poopers. They're looked at as no fun, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing how to have fun, too serious. They rarely smile, you know what I'm saying? When they do smile, it's a very big smile. And, you know what I'm saying? They just view fun